people when they're gated up.
Broadcasting across Australia on Dare Media Group radio stations, this is the Sportcat Show, uncovering secret chapters, strange encounters,
and the occasional technical mishap.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sportcat Show, formerly known as the Paranormal Guys. We've got a great lineup for you tonight. Serial killers and, well, maybe the end of the world. So the only news to update since last week is I will be back live on Monday, I promise. So let me bring my co-host Jen out here real quick, and then we'll kick things off. How are you, Jen?
I am doing well. We haven't blown away.
Yep, I was worried. I was just talking about Chris to everybody else. I'm glad to see you're here, Chris, and you're safe. So our first guest tonight is done something unbelievable to me. He's created a deck with lots of research into serial killers of tarot cards. So Christian is his name. Let's bring him out here and let him tell us. Let me get this out of here. So tell us how you did all this. Christian, tell us about yourself while I figure out what the hell button to push.
Sure. About 2 years ago, there you go. I set out to make a new tarot deck. You know, it's kind of what I do is I make tarot decks. I publish books, board games, anything like that. And I noticed that people were really, really interested in true crime, and that it was like the #1 TV show, the #1 podcast, everything. And I wanted to kind of like research into serial killers regarding astrology, right? Because tarot is astrology and numerology and all the above, right? They're all interconnected. A lot of times when people hear astrology or tarot, they think that they're different, but it's all the same. Every card correlates to a planet. Every planet correlates to a card. So when you're looking at disturbed individuals such as serial killers, it kind of makes you think like, hey, do people, regular people, normal people, have any correlations with the astrology charts of serial killers, and what kind of cards do serial killers match to? So what we do is I actually did this blind because I had already like known a few names. Obviously, like I've seen Netflix, you know, Ted Bundy, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer. And I got the list of the birthdays without the names first. And then I calculated everybody's information, looked at their astrology card, picked their card. And then I looked at the names because I really I wanted to be honest with myself and honest with the people who were going to be using this deck. I didn't want to pick somebody just because I thought that they would fit good for that part. And I'm glad I did it that way too, because the matches were that much more surprising and interesting and fit very well. To give you like a little bit of an idea of like some of the really cool things that happened that we weren't expecting. Ted Bundy ended up being the magician. And if you Google Ted Bundy, he's always in the magician's position in court. He puts one hand up, one hand down, as above, so below. Jeffrey Dahmer was a cool one. So we also had to hire a private investigator to do Freedom of Information Acts to get a lot of the court cases, because there was a lot of information that I wanted to look at that wasn't readily available online. So when we got the Freedom of Information Act on Jeffrey Dahmer, we also got access to his journal. So there was a journal that they found in his apartment, and in his journal was a sketch of he planned to make an altar that he would, I guess, worship or pray to or something like this. And the altar was to be made with two figures, which were people that he disintegrated their body and just left their bones. So they're two skeletons, a table, and then a bigger figure up top with like wings. And it's an exact depiction of what the lover's card looks like. So when we seen that sketch and we seen that he was the lover's card, we're like, wow. Another really, really cool one was the Unabomber ended up being the tower, and the tower is the only card in the entire deck that depicts a building that's being blown up, and the Unabomber killed people by using bombs and blowing up buildings. And that kept happening, you know, all throughout the deck. Like the matches were just like very clearly like on point. Through that, we also, you know, made our own calculator that we give out for free. So like anybody could go to our website and like put their birthday in and see what their cards are. So you could get different calculations. You get birth cards, you get soul cards. You could also put your name in there, and like you could see if your first name is ruled by what planet and your last name is ruled by what planet, and then together what planet do they rule. A lot of the young kids love that because like they'll put in like who they think they're going to marry, and it'll see how it changes their planetary correspondences. And then after all that, after the project was finished, I had wrote down a lot of notes during the project, because when I was doing these calculations, there was like some things that were like surprising me as far as like, for example, there were so many swords, like as soul cards calculations. And I thought that was weird. And there wasn't a lot of cups. So we went back and we realized that there was a lot of statistical clustering. So then we got another 1,600 data points, different cases, and we added that to the pool. And I made like a software, and we named the software Aurora Crimestupper. We gave it to some private investigators, some New York City detectives, and we allowed them to use it for free. And essentially what it does is it gives a percentage of capability, not probability. So if you have a murder and, you know, the first 48 hours is really important, what our software can do is say there's 15 suspects. You have 48 hours. That's a lot of people to investigate. So if you put in their birthday information, it'll actually give you percentages of their capability of even committing such a crime. Because every human being has an archetype, and every archetype has planetary correspondences. And there's a percentage of capability based in those data points that would allow you to even be able to commit such a crime, such as murder or cold-blooded murder or self-defense or anything like that. And it has about an 89% accuracy rate. We wish it was higher, even though that is very high for our type of software. The problem is that a lot of these cases, I suspect, might have been people, especially the cups people, who probably took the blame for the murder and didn't actually commit the murder, and they were covering for either a loved one or like somebody that's close to them, which was a whole nother thing, and that like kind of skews all of the data. But yeah, it'll give you a percentage of the 15 suspects, and it'll say, hey, Ted is 80%, Steve is 16%. So what do you do? You say, obviously, I'm going to go for the 80% before I touch the 16%, because it's like triage in a hospital, right? You treat the most important and most, you know, health risk first before you touch the person who has a scraped knee. That was really cool. That's still free. We still offer it to any kind of police force investigators that want to use it. We don't charge for it. I'd love to see it adopted and, you know, maybe upgraded with the DOJ records. However, you know, the court system doesn't really like astrology and that kind of stuff, because it's not like as concrete as like, you know, other things. But we're not solving cases here. It's just a triage device. So I don't really see the problem. But it's, you know, it's still out there, it's still available, and people do use it. There's a lot of private investigators that do use it when the cops fail to solve a family's case. They hire a private investigator, and the private investigator uses our software.
Wow.
So for the layman, so when you say astrology, my first thoughts are, I'm a Libra. It's more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, so just the terminology of like the signs, like, you know, Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius, you know, Capricorn, that's kind of just like, you know, labeling sections of the library. Like, this is fiction, nonfiction, this is, you know what I'm saying? Then you have a chart behind your birthday that has hundreds of data points on it that you could tell so many different things from. You know, is your K2 squared your Mars node? Is your Jupiter in your lower left-hand corner? You know, there's so many different things that you can find out and use your astrology chart for. It's not as cut and dry as just you were born in this month, so you're this sign.
Wow.
Interesting.
Warren says in the chat, you've seen the Dahmer diary?
Yes. So in order to get to see the information that's in the Dahmer diary, you have to do a Freedom of Information Act. I personally didn't know how to do that. So we hired a private investigator to do that for us. And it does cost some money. It's not free. I think there's also a fee when you pull files with the Freedom of Information Act as well. And you could get those files. You could look at it. You could look at all the court cases. I would recommend not doing that if you aren't prepared to see some things that you might lose some sleep over. Because unfortunately, like, you know, when I set out to do this, I didn't really think that I would have to end up going through a lot of that stuff. And I did have to go through a lot of that stuff. And it's very disturbing. So, I mean, just fair warning there.
I can see that. As a paramedic on the scene of many traumatic cause fatalities, I see a lot of them are like crimes of passion. So how does the numbers work with a crime? I mean, like, you've heard the term seeing red, and there always seems to be, they knew the person, there was a connection. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So that's like more of the ordinary side of things. Is crime of passion is more ordinary, right? And when we say passion, I'm thinking you're saying like some out of love, if somebody, revenge, that kind of thing. That's very ordinary, civilized society type of stuff. And it sounds crazy to say that's civilized society, but that's pretty much since the dawn of time, that's civilized society stuff. And a lot of those people fall into cups categories. However, if you have somebody who is a sword and they get put into a situation like that, their capability percentage could be 89%, and they could definitely do it. But if that person had, gone through certain events in life and had done the inner work of dealing with their traumas and evolving as a human being and growing as a human being, they might just see that opportunity and be like, I could do this, but now I'm good, and walk away, right? It's all about like, people go hang out with the monks and meditate for 5 years because they want to. It's things like that. Some people, don't have that fortunate situation, and they do have those traumas, and they haven't dealt with them. And if they were a sword, they more than likely would have acted on that.
Do you think that people's trauma and suffering kind of help to accelerate changes in them, like change who they are? Or do you think that they just sort of open traits that were already there?
Yes, both are true. It's true in the sense that I think you can consider yourself lucky or unlucky if you've had traumatic situations. The unlucky side of having a traumatic situation is it happened to you, right? The lucky side, and the side you should be grateful for, is that you made it out, and now you're a better person and you have grown as a person because of it. And to be a really great person, you need to have had experienced serious traumas in life. And if you haven't, if you just had a normal, easy peasy life, I'm sure you can still be a great person. But when I say a great person, I mean somebody that has like real depth to them, real personality, they have a strong mind, they're strong emotions, and they're very self-aware and aware of others and all that stuff. And it's almost like a spiritual enlightenment type of a thing, right? It's like a fast track to spiritual enlightenment. But there are some people, again, that have these experiences and it becomes their life, and they don't have the strength or the means or the tools necessary to overcome it. And we see this every day in all kinds of situations.
What do you think it is in those people that do, they take something bad? What trait, or do you think that they possess that they can turn a bad thing into something good versus just giving up?
If the tools are there, meaning like if like, just say astrology wise, let's say in your scenario, this person has all the tools necessary as far as astrology goes to make that decision. There isn't necessarily a trait there. That's free will, right? And, maybe right now you're in a slump maybe you're smoking too much pot, you're drinking too much. That might be the thing that you're doing right now, and you're probably not going to be able to get ahead in that sense, right? But maybe further on down the line, you might have that coming to God moment or that epiphany to do that. It's really not a trait. It really is free will, and it's being able to have these conversations with yourself in your head and go through all of that to make that decision and decide whether or not you want to do it. And I think that everybody, if they knew they could, would, right? Because who wouldn't really, but you can't really have those conversations in your head if you're getting slammed every single night to try and deal with the trauma in the first place or whatever the situation is. So really, I want to stand by that. I don't think it's a trait. I really do think it's a free will thing, especially if you have the tools already available. I think it's all about free will.
So, sorry, Glenn. So what do you think needs to change? Like, what do you think a person would need to change first? Their identity, their beliefs, or their behavior in order to improve their quality or their life?
Well, behavior, if the case is that they're, slamming an alcohol bottle every night, that's technically behavior, right? So that would be behavior. But it's not necessarily any of those things, really. It's not, it truly is something that has to be experienced, right? Because you get a lot of people who will get up on stage and they're like these motivational speakers, and they pretend to have all the answers, and they have hundreds and hundreds of people in front of them. And the truth is, like, all of those people, maybe one of them it helped realistically, because it's not, these types of things is not something that, like, you could just go to somebody for an answer. And I'm not going to pretend to have the answer either, because it truthfully really is something that has to be experienced yourself, right? You need to learn and figure it out yourself, because there's a million different answers, and they could all be right and they could all be wrong. Each person's situation is different. Maybe somebody tripped on the sidewalk drunk and they seen this bird that reminded them of their grandmother, and that was their coming to God moment, and everything changes after that, or maybe, you're at the casino and you win $1 million and that changes your life. It's all relative to the person, and there's definitely not one size fits all. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of the main problems I have with the motivational speaker people that, like, charge people hundreds of dollars for tickets to go to these shows. I just think it's so silly.
You talk about it. Some things were unshakable that got you into this. Did you experience any traumas that kind of brought you to this?
Not necessarily traumas, like during the process, if that's what you're asking, but the disturbing images, right? It didn't really. I have a pretty strong head and mind body, and it was more so of like, I really just don't want to, digest this, but I'm going to digest it for the authenticity of the work that I'm doing, right? Because I didn't want to just create a deck, right? I wanted to make a difference, because the glorification of serial killers is rampant these days. I mean, you're casting, what's his name, as Ted Bundy. What's this guy's name? Zac Efron. That, like, all the young girls love this guy. So now you have all these young teenage girls who are googly-eyed over a serial killer character. That's very wrong, right? And there's just too much glorification. So I wanted to create a tarot deck which is the opposite of what glorification does. It requires you to do the introspective work. Like, this is the shadow side. These are the people. This is what happens when you do the flip side of the tarot card and you don't do the work that's necessary. This is what can become. This is the shadow that's in everybody, right? So you could have the exact same astrology chart as, say, Ted Bundy, but you could make the decision to go the opposite way, right? This is free. This is where free will comes into place. That's why our software is capability, not probability. We're not describing probability here. We're describing capability. So if you have a 90% capability to go that way, take the other route, and you know what I'm saying? It's ups and downs, and it's all about free will at the end of the day.
So you're talking about capability and stuff, and the percentage of, I take it, I'm going to ask the question, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer is, do you think that evil is something we're born with, or do you think it's something that's nurtured and created by society and time?
Wow.
I would love to answer that. I would just have to ask first, what is your definition of evil?
I would assume Ted Bundy.
So you're saying like somebody that mass murders people is evil? Okay.
I guess that would be a definition. Yeah. Or not so much the person, but the behaviors and the actions of that person.
Okay, because I would describe evil as something very different.
Okay.
But if we're gonna go the route of, just for example, like, do you think somebody's born with that intent to be able to do that? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. If are there people that are born, heartless
Predisposed.
and predisposed to those
No.
tendencies?
No.
There's
no,
the word. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah.
Every now and
Definitely
then-
not. I don't think so. There is a very, very large portion of the population of the world that doesn't have inner monologue. So they're kind of just like, I'm assuming the both of you guys talk to yourselves in your head, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we think that's a normal. Yeah, we think that's a normal thing. There's a large portion of society that doesn't have that, and I know that might be something hard to wrap your head around, but like quite literally, and it's hard to imagine because you always talk to yourself in your head and you think, but a very large portion of our population, more so than not, does not have that. They don't have a voice to talk to. And I've met quite a few of these people, and you asked them, it's like, oh, I was like, you don't have a voice to talk to? And they're like, what are you talking about, a voice to talk to? I was like, so like when you got up to grab that drink, did you think in your head like, oh, I'm going to go grab that drink? And they said, no, I just went to go grab the drink. So it's like, that's also a large portion of the population, right? And I don't think any of those people for sure are inherently born evil, or anyone for that matter.
Interesting. I have a rare intracranial hypertension, brain disease, and it's incurable. They can only give you pills. Good for pharmaceutical. But one of the things that I just realized I have is if it gets real quiet, I can hear music. Like there's a band playing down the street or something, and there's actually a definition for that. And she's like, "Oh yeah, people do that." I'm like, "They do?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's your brain is your brain and your body is essentially it's almost like a radio. People when you're using tarot cards, some people channel. When you're doing psychic readings or anything like that, you're basically channeling. Anybody could really channel. Of course, the CIA found this out too, and they found a way to send words and voices into your head. Very famously. Yeah, they did that to a very famous channeler who was really famous in the 90s. He did like channeling like the aliens and whatnot. And he basically somehow, like, kudos to this guy for real. He figured out at some point during his career that he was compromised because the CIA was actually sending him messages, and he was able to differentiate that, hey, these aren't the same people who are talking to me. This isn't the same type of dialogue. There's something going on here. And he figured it out. And he basically, instead of like trying to fight it or continue going, he actually just ended his career and disappeared and never did another channeling. Totally like didn't write another book, nothing. He just like totally like effed off and was like, I'm done.
See, as
chat real quick. Let's hit this. What about early development? Anything that is shared or similar?
There's a lot of early development patterns, like trauma-wise, for sure, with a lot of these killers. But that's getting into the psychological aspect of it. And I'll give you one. Like one is a lot of them have a lot of mom issues, and a lot of like parental issues in general, but more specifically, mom. The reason why I say like that's getting into the psychological is because it's very different when you're talking about the psychological and you're talking about astrology. I'm going to say something a little controversial, but I I've been doing this for 15 years, and I could probably say that has some weight to it. If we used astrology in combination with or instead of psychotherapy, we would help a lot more people, because the psychological psychotherapy aspect of how we treat people with traumas can be what you learn in 6 months of re-traumatizing an individual by making them talk about their traumas. You could learn in one day just by looking at their astrology chart, right? Like your astrology chart can tell you a lot of things. Like I could look at somebody's astrology chart and I could say, hey, you had a really bad relationship with your mom growing up. This, that, and the third happened. Hey, by the way, your Mars is in your third corner and it's squaring your K2. You should really watch your blood. Be really careful with your blood. Maybe drink some beet juice every now and again, and wear some red coral, stuff like that, just to help with that. Like you could see health elements. You can see traumas. You could see life experiences. You could see money lines. And then there's astrocartography on top of that, which is basically looking at your ley lines and looking at the map of the earth and seeing where all of your planetary lines are. So like a really great place to live would be in your sun line, right? A really bad place to live, maybe depending on your chart, might be in your Mars line, right? And there's so much more available to you through astrology, numerology, astrocartography, tarot, all these things that could help somebody like that versus psychotherapy and talking about like things that happened in early childhood development and all that stuff. And I wish that there are actually, I've come across a few people I know that are therapists that started using tarot and astrology in their work. And I've been hearing really great things. So I hope that more people start to do that.
Interesting. I've written some notes. I'm like, I'm going to check out that. I'm going to check out that. That's a lot of stuff. I was gonna ask the question. Like sometimes we know we need to change, but we resist it. Why do we resist it so much, even though we know it's good for us?
Yeah. So because that's change, and change is hard, right? And it's so much easier to stay in what's known and what's common. Right. And your ego likes to stay comfortable. Right. And, you always have an ego, but like when you make like a big change, you kind of like transform the ego a little bit. The ego turns into something else, right? Because you've overcame this thing, right? This trauma. It's kind of like, knowing that you need to take this medicine, and knowing that by taking this medicine for the next 8 hours, you're going to be possibly in pain, possibly really uncomfortable. Maybe you're going to sweat. Maybe you're going to shit yourself. Maybe you're going to throw up, whatever it is. But you have to take this medicine because this medicine is what's going to make you better. But for 6 hours, you're going to be really uncomfortable. And, a lot of people won't take the medicine because they know what's coming and they know that the uncomfortability, and they'd rather just deal with it and not have the uncomfortability and stay with the comfortability that they're in than actually get better.
When you're talking about ego, you're not talking about like, somebody's got an ego and they think better of themselves. You're talking about like that part of the consciousness, like ego, id. I can't remember what the other one is.
Ego is your name, right? So, I'm Christian. My ego is Christian, right?
Okay.
That's like the easiest way to explain it, because without your ego, you wouldn't have a name, and we wouldn't be able to converse with each other if we did not have egos, right? Without the ego, so it's mind, body, soul, spirit, right? And there's like 3 layers, like, just like in church, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, it's all the same thing. So like the first layer is your ego, right? The second layer would be like your spirit. And then the third layer would be just like absolute consciousness, right? So when you go to like spirit, you no longer you're at the stage of pretty much not having a name and not being physically being able to communicate here. So like the ego, for all extensive purposes, it's your identity, it's your personality, it's your name, your God-given birth name, that whatever it was that your parents decided to name you, that's your ego. There is part of the ego that is expressed through like, oh, I'm the man, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the best at this. That's also an expression of ego. But realistically, if you think about it, that's just an expression of you expressing your personality, which is your ego.
Did how doctors go to school for 6, 10, 12 years to learn how to treat people? How long did it take you to learn this? Because it's a lot of what you're saying parallels that you're helping people.
To learn what exactly? Because there's a lot of things going on in my head.
Well, I guess
tarot or philosophy.
Well, no, you were talking about using like psychotherapy to help people to make them better, to get them past something. And psychologists go to school for long periods of time. And it seems to me with what you're saying is a lot of this has been beat out of us by society. They just want you to be the normal guy, 9 to 5. But how did you learn? What set you on that course, and how long did it take you to say, I can help people using the astrology and the numerology?
Well, I've always kind of been that way since I was a kid, really. And it definitely left me for a while at some point in my childhood, and then came back. That graciousness, the thing to want to help and stuff like that. And it left me during the period of like the growing up period where it's like, oh, I have to like, go to work and do this and do that and survive and this, that, and the third. And that just didn't work out for me. And I reverted back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it. I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to go back to how I really want to behave and how I really want to be and what I really want to do, which would help people, period. And helping people could be anything. Helping people could be like, hey, next time you see that homeless man on the street, give him some money. Like, yeah, he's going to use it for drugs. So what? Let him get high. He's got nothing else going on. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that excuse. Like when like, it's just, it doesn't matter. Like he could use that to whatever he wants to use it for. The fact is that you're giving to him something that he does not have. Right. But yeah, I mean, I've been like that since I was a young kid. And tarot and astrology is something that I've always been into since I was really, really young. I mean, I was definitely a weird kid. I remember being like 12 years old, trying to Google like what dimethyltryptamine is and DMT and all that stuff. And like, what 12-year-olds doing that, that's like, but that was me as a 12-year-old, like looking into death. Like I was interested in like what happens after you die. So like I researched this and like I'm looking at scientific articles and they're like, oh, well, dimethyltryptamine is released in your brain when you die and this is what happens. And then I think like, oh, so this is an actual substance that you could like ingest and experience death from. Like that's where my 12-year-old brain went as a kid.
It was lifelong learning. Yeah.
Okay. When I was 12, I built a working seismograph out of rubber bands, paper towel rolls, and buried in my backyard. And I thought everybody else was doing the same thing when they were 12. I was weird too, so I empathize. I was going to ask that. Do you think that our interest in serial killers and criminology, and because you said that there's a bigger interest in criminology and stuff, do you think that stems from either we want to understand the darkness or we want to understand ourselves?
I think a lot of it is shock factor. People want to be shocked. That's like the main thing. And also people don't understand the how could, the why, the no way part. Like people don't understand that. I was never into true crime or serial killers because I understood very well archetypes and I knew that people are capable of these things. This is normal stuff to me. But like I think the majority of people don't understand that. And they want to know, how could he have done this? Why did he do this? How did he do this? And also a big factor, again, is the shock factor, which is the inevitable glorification of a lot of these cases, because where we turned it into horror movies. Like horror movies used to just be horror movies. Now horror movies are serial killer movies, like off of real people. And I think that could be done in a proper way, and it could be done right. Not when you're hiring like the hottest actor possible to play the serial killer. I think that's just it's like I understand like there's definitely people around the round table in that like producer room, and they were just like, all right guys, how do we make the most money off of this? And that's the reason why they did it. But at the end of the day, there's the whole like you really got to think about it, and I don't think they actually thought about it. Like, I don't think that they did this like with evil intent. I think they were really just trying to make the money off of it. But that's just like the commercial capitalistic way of how we do things, really realistically here in America.
Warren in our chat asked, have you done DMT?
Have I personally done DMT? No, I will not do DMT. The closest thing that I've ever done to DMT is probably ayahuasca tea. There is DMT in ayahuasca.
Okay, I'm gonna be the naive one here and say, what is DMT?
DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is released in your brain when you die.
It's the acronym. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You were saying it was in a tea. People do these weird things, yeah.
So every living thing on Earth has DMT inside of it. If it's living, it has DMT. So the grass outside has DMT. You could actually take that grass and you could extract DMT out of it. There's better ways of doing it because there's certain plants that have higher ratios of DMT in them, and that can be boiled down and synthesized into a crystal, and people smoke them, people ingest them. The most original way of doing it, and the not so crazy way of doing it, is the ayahuasca way of doing it, which has been done for hundreds and thousands of years, which is they get these vines and a couple of other plants and leaves. They boil it up into this black guck, and really rich people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to go to Peru and do this. But I personally, I've never smoked DMT, and I don't plan on to do so. I'm going to save that for when I die.
Good choice.
It's on your bucket list, but very, very, very low.
Mm-hmm. I just think that's like, I've done a ton of research into it. I know people who have taken it. I'm very familiar with it. That's just not something like maybe a bag of mushrooms is a little bit better. That comes from the earth. That's, magic mushrooms were in the Bible, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's probably the better option rather than like extracting this thing and that you're really only technically supposed to experience when you die.
Makes sense. A lot of what you're talking about is us doing the things the old way, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm good with that. Go ahead, Jen. I know you got a question. I see your brain percolate. See, I can see her brain percolating.
Yes, the steam's coming out, except I've got the ear things blocking it. I was gonna say that you were talking about the did our freeze? Okay, there we go. We're talking about the symbols and the I can't say the word. Yeah, there we go. Of the pictures and the different people that you were talking about all that. Do you think that we are hardwired to see symbolism? There we go. I can say it now.
Yeah, for sure. Symbolism is very similar to pattern recognition, and imagine us not being in civilized society. We would be able to recognize patterns for hunting and gathering and all that kind of stuff. There is in my experience, from reading tarot for so long, I think one of the biggest misconceptions with tarot is people think that tarot is the thing, right? Tarot is what's giving you the answers. Tarot is the thing that's telling you the fortune and the future and all this. And no, that's not the case. Tarot is just a box of paper cards. Sorry to inform you, peeps. So there's a lot of people who are going to hate me for saying that, but that's the truth, right? Tarot is just a tool. Just like you drive a car and it's required of you to have a key and a brain in your head to drive that car. It's the same situation, right? It's just a tool. You're the one who brings the energy, who brings the intention, who brings the knowledge, the wisdom, the answers that are looking to be seek. The tool just produces the symbolism and the images to guide you on your answer, to give your answer to this person. And when you do tarot for a very, 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 very long time, at some point you're going to notice that thing. And it's not a word for that thing. It's not really describable. It's something that you have to experience, again, like a lot of things. And you'll notice it, and it's like it's something that comes from like almost inside of you, but also outside of you. And it's like this voice almost, right? And that voice is like almost like I guess the word would be like psychic, right? And you'll come to realize that you don't actually even need the cards to be able to answer somebody's question, right? The cards are kind of just there as extra help guide, right? And they're also there for the person receiving a reading or asking the question, because it's almost like confirmation for them. Especially like nowadays, everybody and their mother wants to read tarot cards, and nobody really knows what they're doing. And so like they'll give a reading and they'll just say whatever they want to say. So like the cards are also there for representation and comfort for the person who's asking the question.
I hear a lot of manifestation and intention.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Manifestation's a tricky word though, but yeah.
Yeah. I practiced remote viewing for a little while to play with it, if that makes sense. So
we actually have a board game that we're making, and it's based off of the CIA documents for remote viewing. And essentially what it does is it tricks you into remote viewing as a game, and it develops your skill for remote viewing.
Ooh, I have to check that out.
Hopefully soon.
You talk about that moment. I was in a class with a bunch of people learning remote viewing, and at one point you have to draw, and then if you get to the next level you make like little clay figures or stuff. And I'm making this thing, I'm like, what am I seeing? And at the time, my job, I was a flight paramedic, and it was a building in San Francisco. It's the real famous one. It's kind of an angle. I was drawing and making that, but I didn't know what it was because I was looking at it from here. And he told me, he says, stop, get your pencil out, and then change your view. You're so used to, because your job looking down, look this way. And I did. And I'm like, it's a building, Transamerica building.
There you go.
I was like, I have a picture of it, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Target, the whole classroom. I got moved to a different classroom after that. But yeah.
Drawing's really powerful. With remote viewing and just in general, drawing. I'm an artist, obviously, so I draw a lot. When I was a really young kid, I used to have this really cool, like, those oversized sketchbooks, and I used to draw on it every day. And this was over a year before 9/11 actually happened. And in the sketchbook, I drew the Twin Towers getting hit by a plane. And after the 9/11 happened, we were moving, and my mother seen the sketchbook, and she realized that like I had drawn that. And then the following pages after the 9/11 drawing was bombs and war and stuff going on in a desert, which was, the war that went on afterwards. And she actually wrote, she was in college at the time, and she wrote her paper about me and doing that as a kid. But yeah, drawing can be used to, one, remote view, and two, see a glimpse into what the future holds.
I do less seeing and more hearing, like just intuition. And I was gonna actually ask you, about intuition and its relation to creativity. Do you think it's something that can be taught?
Not in the traditional sense of teaching, but yeah, and they're both the same thing. Creativity is the thing. Like creativity is the juice, right?
Mhm.
Creativity is love. Love is creativity. The most godly, holy, spiritual thing you could possibly do in your life is create, right? The most holy, spiritual, greatest thing you can create is life, right? By having a kid, right? God created you and whatever you believe in, right? And then you create this child. That's like the most spiritual, craziest thing that you could possibly create, besides art and making games and cards. That's creation, right? And creation is intuition. And I'm not necessarily sure creativity needs to be taught. I think everybody kind of has creativity. It just needs to be, mothered or cared for and, nurtured, right? And that goes hand in hand with intuition. I think intuition is the same thing.
There are some people that are naturally more creative, like they just thrive and take to different mediums of creativity and stuff. Is there anything different in their, like, do their brains work differently, or is it just some connection that they have that other people don't?
Yeah, I would say that there's definitely good examples of that. Like, I'm autistic, right? But I have autism in the sense that I hyperfixate on things. If there's something that I'm interested in, I will learn it better than somebody who went to school for 10 years. And I'll do it in 3 months, just because I'm able to retain the information that I'm interested in an exponential, manner, faster, and develop it much quicker than the average person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think that there's definitely aspects of our brain and aspects of the chemical engineering in our body that can make somebody more creative than other. There's also astrological aspects that make people more creative than others. Like, I'm a Gemini. Like, we're some of the most creative people on the planet, and most misunderstood people on the planet, because we have so many different personalities. Like, whereas you may have one voice in your head, I have like 15, and they're in a courtroom and they're battling every possible different direction of this entire conversation. And I'm completely like non-biased to all of it, because I'm having all those different angles and opinions all at once in my head. But yeah, 100%, certain people are like, really good at certain things. You see that a lot with autism, where autism has different levels, right? Some levels of autism is very debilitating, right? Some levels it's almost like a superpower. And I really do think so. I feel like I have a superpower, realistically, because like I could really learn something very well, very fast, if I'm interested in. The caveat to that is, if I'm not interested in it, you couldn't even get me to talk about it. I will go to sleep.
I'm nodding along because I totally get it, because I also have autism, and I understood that whole debate going on inside your head. Do you feel sometimes, though, I was going to add from one autistic to another, do you feel that it's hard to understand how other people don't get it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a struggle of mine. My biggest struggle probably is my brain goes so fast, and the way I speak sometimes might come across as like rude or like condescending, but I'm not at all being rude or condescending. It's just how the words come out of my mouth. I don't have the same type of cues, right? That somebody else might have, that they would pick up on to tell if that person's actually being rude or not. So that's a big one for me, more so than people not getting it. But like, if it's something interesting,
oh yeah,
I would love to sit there and totally tell this person why it's interesting, and also why it's not interesting at the same time. Like that's the crazy Gemini aspect, right? Is like, we'll tell you, like, we'll convince you why you should do this, and we'll also tell you why you shouldn't do it. And then by the time you're done with the conversation with us, you don't even know what happened.
I'm totally confused. Yes. You had a question there, Glenn.
Well, we got to wrap up here soon, and I do have one question. Do you use runes?
Runes?
Yeah, runes. Sorry.
Yeah. I've used runes for quite a while. I haven't used them in quite a bit, but I do have Mjolnir on my arm, hand here, and the other hand is the Fool from the Tarot deck. But I used runes, but I used the traditional way of runes, and the traditional way is you have to go hunting, and you hunt your own dinner. And I do that anyway, regardless. I really hate going to the supermarket. The way they treat the animals that go into the supermarket shelves is horrible. So any chance I get, I try and go hunting, and we freeze everything up. But the traditional way of doing it is you do that. You save all the bones, and then you inscribe the runes on the bones, on the small bones. And then you make a little leather bag out of the skin. And then when you want to do a rune reading, you shake up the bag and then you throw it. And then that's how you do your rune reading, depending on what's on top of what's upside down, what's pointing this way, what's pointing this way. But the runes they correlate to every single one of the tarot cards, and they correlate to every single one of the astrology signs. It's all the same. They all work interchangeably. They're just like different languages. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've been drawn to them for some reason, but at any rate, we're gonna have you back because you're great. I feel like I could keep you 2 hours. So
that would be fun.
We'll set it up. We always ask, have you ever had a paranormal experience, seen Bigfoot, anything?
Sure, I've had 2 pretty crazy experiences. I will save the short one. I will save the long one and really crazy one for next time I come. The first one is a little bit shorter, but I took a trip out to New Mexico, Taos, New Mexico, during COVID. And Taos, New Mexico is right next to that suspected UFO research facility out there in the desert, New Mexico. I drove, it was like it was almost a 30-hour drive. And I pretty much drove straight. So I could have been hallucinating as well. But I'm pretty sure I wasn't. When we got there, first thing we did, we unpacked our bags, got in there. I was checking out the Airbnb. I went into the backyard, and I was just blown away by the sky, because in New York, we don't really see stars in New York. And then to go down to New Mexico and see like actual, like you could see the Milky Way in the sky. Like it's so clear. It's like amazing. And I'm looking at all these stars and everything. And I noticed that there was like 2 lights that were like zigzagging. And I'm like, obviously that's not a shooting star. That's not a regular star. That's not a planet. Like that's not a plane. And they were just like zipping around. And I came to the conclusion, I was very tired, obviously, but I came to the conclusion after the fact when they disappeared. I was like, that had to be a UFO. Those were definitely UFOs. And then like I'm like, isn't there like one of those facility places like somewhere over here where no, it was where they had the crash. There was a crash down there. What's the name of the crash? You guys would know.
Roswell, Area 50.
Roswell, yes. Roswell is literally an hour away from Taos. So I was like, that's what it was. And I was like, and that was pretty cool. That was interesting. That was the first time I ever seen something in the sky that I could like, with 99% assurity, say that it was probably a UFO.
I'm going to go with you believe in aliens too.
To an extent, the aliens definitely exist. I think that the aliens that were being disclosed of being existing, I think there's a narrative being played by the government disclosure program, and I think a lot of what they're telling us is not the truth. I think it's a narrative to do sort of a brainwashing, but aliens for sure, 100%, they exist.
Project
lost a lot of wasted space. There wasn't.
Yeah, mathematically, it just wouldn't be possible, I don't think. So, but yeah, I think Project Blue Book. We had a guy on here. He was an author that worked for some special agency, and he wrote the book Hush. I read that and this changed my whole view on this stuff.
You should look up Project Blue Beam.
Project Blue Beam. Okay.
Blue Beam. I don't know if you ever heard of that one, but that was a project to be able to project holographics into the sky and move them around. And it was suspected that that was going to be used for disclosure, when they do disclosure, to usher in aliens and get us more comfortable with that. Say like, hey, now we have to be a one world government and we need a one world currency and everybody needs to get behind this and follow the rules. And this is how it's going to be, digital currency, this, and you need digital ID. That's kind of like the whole conspiracy theory behind that idea.
Yep. Nope, I've heard it, know about it well. So, grew up around Fort Belvoir, if you know anything about that, just outside of Washington.
Okay.
All that stuff. Yeah, where they taught all that, or trained on all that stuff. So, yeah. We're gonna get you back. We'll have you in August, maybe, if you'd like.
Sure.
I'll just schedule you for 2 hours because I am fascinated by this, and I don't know. Maybe we can. Do you do readings on people?
I haven't. I do them for friends and family nowadays. I used to do them like as a job. So now I only do it for friends and family. And like I have a rule. It's like, all right, you have to buy me a drink or get me a couple of cigarettes or something, and I'll do a reading for you. It's like a joke, but yeah, I don't do them professionally, like to for money anymore. But I do still do them. Yes. Okay.
Maybe we can talk Jen into being read. So.
Sure.
Oh, we know she likes karate, paintballing, and she drives a Prius. That's about it. That's all I know. So
we could do that.
Jen's like, no, I'm not up for this.
I didn't say that. No. I'm a little afraid what might be found.
Well, that is the one thing. You're always afraid you're going to pull out you may know the name of the card. The one where it's like you look at it and you go, well, I'll be gone tomorrow.
No. There's nothing like that. I mean, it's really up to you, like, because you're the one who's going to be asking me the questions, right? So, like, don't ask me a question that you don't want the answer to. Right? That's kind of, you know what I mean? That's the only really thing.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. If there are a lot of things I'd like to know, and there's even more things that I don't want to know. So
I feel the same. I won't do a reading for myself anymore. I'll just let everything fly.
Yeah, I guess there's the running joke. They always say there's something something new they learn about me every week.
Yeah. Christian, do you see anything off about her? She got an aura? Is there a little demon dancing behind her?
I got a dog down here.
Please say there is.
No, nothing like that.
We just like to have fun with her. So, well, Christian, I want to thank you and thank your agent for connecting us, because he was like, I've watched your show. I'm going to go out on a whim and just try this. Would you be interested? And I was like, sure. So, did you ever do Monroe Gateway by any chance? Or do you know about it?
I don't think so.
Ooh, look that up. Look up Monroe Gateway.
Monroe, MONROE?
Yeah, like the name. Yeah, Monroe Gateway.
Okay.
Look that up. It's fascinating. That it goes to remote viewing and that talent, opening up that channel. So, Christian, I am so glad that you come on. CB says, didn't know you could read yourself. Did you buy your tarot cards, or did someone buy them for you?
He's asking that because there's this like it's like a myth that like somebody has to gift you your first tarot deck. That's not really true. There is, if somebody does gift you a tarot deck, or you get gifted a tarot deck, you want to be the one who opens it. That is something that's true, because as soon as it's opened, you start putting energy into it. My first tarot deck I found as a kid in my family's house. So somebody must have gifted a family member the tarot card and they didn't want anything to do with it. I found it, and that's how I got my first tarot deck. Nobody gifted it to me. I have been gifted tarot decks in the past, but if you are interested in tarot, just go out and buy one. There's no rules.
And speaking of which, before you get out of here, and do you ship to Australia? That's the next thing. Where can people find your stuff? And if they want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Sure. So our latest release, killercardstarot.com. All of our other releases, circuitsofconsciousness.com, but you can find everything at courageovercomfortco.com. We do ship worldwide. We just started doing that a few months ago, actually, because we got thousands of emails because we weren't shipping worldwide before because it's a little expensive. But yeah, we do that. And you can find us if you go to our main website, our Instagram, our TikTok, all of we post clips from podcasts on there, all kinds of information.
Okay. Very good. Send some of that over to me so I can get it in the show notes, because I got a couple of them, but I don't have all those names you mentioned. So, Christian, yes, we're going to have you back. I really appreciate that. Have a great night. Thanks for coming on and spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Likewise.
Take care.
We always say it, Jen. It goes so quick.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
And I know you probably had another 30 questions.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well,
we'll have to save them for August.
Yeah. I'm really excited about some of the things he's talking about. So
I know I was making notes. I'm like, I'm gonna check out that. Like, I have my pages are all covered with notes. I'm like, okay, I've got some research to do this week.
There you go. And you can add some of it to your book. So
yeah.
And hey, before we kill the end of this hour, tell everybody where they can find your stuff, and where if they want to get in touch with you, they can do it.
Yeah, check out my website, jmshawauthor.com. You can see my books. You can read about them, the synopsis. You can find links to them online. And you can check out my events page. I also have on the bottom of my website links to my Facebook, my Instagram, so you can follow me, or my Goodreads, so you can see what other people are saying about me.
There you go. Everybody, hang on for hour 2 of the Sportcat Show. We'll be right back. Thank you, WZQR and WRFN.
Broadcasting across Australia on Dare Media Group radio stations, this is the Sportcat Show, uncovering secret chapters, strange encounters,
and the occasional technical mishap.
And hello, everybody, and welcome back to hour number 2 of the Sportcat Show, formerly known as the Paranormal Guys. It's me and Jen, my normal. I'm keeping you, by the way. You can't go anywhere.
Yes.
So.
I'm stuck.
You're allowed to go on vacation. That's about it. So. Well, we have 2 guests every week that we talk to, and our guest isn't backstage yet, so it's just me and Jen for a few minutes. So, Jen, since we got a few minutes, what is one thing this week our fans would like to know that they don't know?
You mean about me?
About you, yes. They love you. I'm just a guy who pushes buttons.
I can play piano.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm studying for my Royal Conservatory.
Oh, all right.
Started 2.5 years ago. I'm at grade 4, going to be taking my grade 4 test.
Wow. That is always learn something new about you. I'm going to come on one day and you're going to be like a knight. Oh, yeah.
I'll be wearing all you'll see is my eyes, because I'll have a ninja outfit on.
Yeah. I'll be like, what happened this week with you?
I was on a mission. We cannot talk about it.
I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I get through the week, I do get people asking me, she goes, can you tell us about something?
About me? Whoa, I didn't think people were that interested. I always thought that, I needed to write, because otherwise, my life is pretty boring otherwise, and people will remember me when I'm gone because of what I've written.
Well, that's true. Is that why you started writing?
No. I started writing because I was trying to figure out life, and I was people watching, and there's only so much you can learn by watching, and I can't dive into people's heads, so without cutting them open, which is a little morbid and kind of frowned upon in good society. So I started creating fictional characters so I could dive into their heads and kind of live vicariously through them. And then it kind of turned into a passion, an obsession, a self-care. Now it's just therapy.
It's cheaper.
At least I made a mark. Yes, I have. I apparently have.
And you were just saying, do you really think about it that way, that people will remember you for life because it's in print?
I don't know. I just remember hearing that when I was younger. It's like, do something worth writing about or write something worth reading. I can't remember who it was that said that. I think it was George Bernard Shaw. And I think it stuck in my head because my last name is Shaw and George Bernard Shaw. And then, it made sense to me. So I just kind of embraced it. Yeah, I lobotomized my fictional characters. That's hilarious. I love that. Yeah, I possessed them, if you think about it that way. I became their inner voice. Yeah, putting them through the ringer. I think if I met them in person, because somebody asked me, is like, are your characters you? And I said, oh, good Lord, no. I think my characters would want to strangle me for the crap I put them through.
What you were saying, I always wanted to do something that I would be remembered, like a legacy. And one thing, once I'd been a paramedic for a long time, I remembered an old paramedic saying, learn something, teach something, and then they'll remember you. Yeah. And do something. Yeah. And so I started teaching for a while, and I had these kids calling me up, and they're like, I want to tell you, I heard your voice in my head when this happened. I think that's kind of cool. So like you, I wanted to leave an impression. I didn't want to be just that guy 9 to 5 and the button pusher for Jen. So
the button pusher for me.
More out of my life. CB says he has some fictional characters that lobotomize others.
Yes. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I had somebody was asking me about, like, okay, so I have 2 bad guys in my first book. And then I was telling him, I said, I have a couple, there's obviously bad guys in my second book. And I said, but 2 of my bad guys in my second book become 1. And then they were like, ooh, that's interesting. And I was like, yeah, but I won't go into details on that. So there was some lobotomizing going on there, I guess, then too.
Our interbreeding.
No.
You're not a very spicy novel, so.
No, I don't write spice. Sorry.
No.
It's not my jam.
Some people do. Yeah. So, but do you know when you're writing a scene that could go that way that you put a block up for yourself, or is it just natural Jen?
You know what? I've never really encountered that, but I suppose what I do is I would write a version for myself and then set it aside so nobody ever sees it. And it would just be mine.
That's fair. That's fair. So,
I mean, sometimes my characters like kind of have their own life going on there, and I'm like, shush, no, we're gonna stay on track.
You've said that before. Do you ever picture him looking back at you and going, what the hell are you doing? Like they're breaking the fourth wall?
I did try that one time when I was younger, many, many years ago. And I would, if I probably have a better chance of doing it now. But when I was younger me, I did try to write a book where my character chewed me out for the crap I was putting him through. And I thought, okay, this is just weird.
And Brenda, always looking for porn.
Hey. Sorry, there's none in my books. It's young adults,
We didn't have the internet when I was a child, so if we had, I'd probably be a psycho killer or something. So CB says, I thought of spice but didn't write it. Okay. And then Warren, I'm not really sure what is he still talking about the last author? I'm kind of concerned now.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be interpreted a couple different ways.
Yeah. You haven't met Warren. You need to meet Warren. He was from the original cast of Misfits, and he's been sick lately, so we haven't seen or heard much of him. So we're glad that he's back to his old self. And we would come on here, and he would be the one that just all of a sudden would come up with something, would be like, what? Where did that come from? So he's that guy. So, but we love you, Warren. We're glad you're feeling better. So, and I hope Chris is still here because they were getting some bad storms up there. So I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, I know we've been getting some crazy. It hasn't been very warm here, but you wouldn't be the same. Yes, it would change. It would open my eyes to a whole new prospect of writing.
Good. Twist you. See, this is where everybody at Dare Talk Radio and Radio X Country needs to come over to join the live chat, and you can ask Jen or me a question, or maybe our second hour guest will show up. Otherwise, it's just me and Jen and Warren.
Warren and CB too.
CB is in there, and Brenda's in there. I saw Coley in there. She was in there earlier. I guess she has her own show, so she might have just dropped in before the show. So, but yeah, we've had a pretty good chat. So, and CB, if you don't remember, we had him a few.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah,
yeah.
He wrote some great stuff about vampires and werewolves. And so yeah, well, it was kind of all of them. So
a little bit, yeah, a little bit of different things. Yeah.
He was definitely in the cryptids. So and that's what we were looking for. And I was telling you earlier, Jen, I found a new author that I'm reading. I done forgot his name. He's going to yell at me. He has written some great tales about vampires, and I was really intrigued. And I read his book in like 3 days, and that's saying something for me because I'm a slow reader. So, yeah, Todd Sullivan.
Yeah, Todd or Tom?
Todd. Yeah, see, we'll have you back on. We ain't afraid. We're not afraid of you. But yeah, so yeah, I dove into his first book and wow. But like I was saying, it's set in a country I'm not too familiar with, so that was a little odd to dig into, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So I can't wait to have him. So the hell was that, Jen?
Sorry, that was my dog.
Oh,
I didn't know you could hear that. She got up and shook.
Release the gimp. What the hell was that?
No, it was just her collar. She got up and she shook, and she's got really long ears, so they kind of flop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did tell you a little bit about Ginger. So
yeah.
I had an incident with her where I was afraid she'd had a stroke, so I took her to the vet. Turns out that don't give your dog gummies. But she's fine. But now I felt so guilty. I bought her a spa day. So it's like I'm making up with her.
So what do they do in the doggy spa day?
Well, she's gonna get a full bath, which I'm sure she's not gonna like.
I was gonna say, I don't think my dog likes her spa days.
Yeah, she's gonna get that, and they're gonna put on some blueberry scent and give them some tree. Do their nail. I don't know. I just know it's gonna cost me a fortune.
I'd always drop my dog off at for the spa, and she's always giving me this look like, "What are you doing? Why are you leaving? Come back! I'm a good girl. Please don't leave me."
Well, see, here's where I got a mobile one to come out here in the country. So,
oh wow!
Now I'm saying that sounds kind of creepy, but just gonna show up in a van.
Just this white van, and nondescript. Take your dog, bring it back.
That sounds no. She doesn't leave the driveway, so. CB says I'm about to pull a Jack the Evil Clown. Did you miss me? No. CB, to be missed, you have to have went away. We've only missed you for a few weeks, so it's kind of subjective there, CB. Yeah. Do all of your authors do this thing with a JM CB? Is that?
It fits. Well, I'd use JM Shaw. Shaw is my maiden name, and I use my initials for anonymity. But I mean, if anybody asks me, then I'd tell them my first name is Jennifer. But it also fits better on the cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with CB, you remember that? I mean,
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess because I had CB radio stuck in my head when I was a kid. So
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
the first book I read about firefighting. No, it might not have been. Yeah, it was the first. CB Colby. He used to write. They were just like little books they put in middle and elementary school. They were just real thin, like the Wonder Years type of book. There's a name
Like
for
the
it.
not the I can read books, but like the older ones.
Yeah, something like that. And he did one on like astronauts and firemen and blah blah blah.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
And,
about. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and he was in fact went on eBay and paid a large sum of money to get that book. Because I read it in middle school, so that would have been what, like 1972. So no, that wouldn't be right. No, I was born in 67. That wouldn't be right. 82. So Jesus.
I was gonna say, yeah, it wouldn't have been 72 because I had them, so I remember seeing them.
I wasn't
around in 72, so
me and George, Ben, we all hung out at the 1776. I did that last week. So maybe our second hour guest has seen the way I've screwed up a past few guests on the second hour. I call them a different name. I talk to them about their not.
I can't stop you. I can't stop the words that sometimes come out of your mouth, and I'm sitting there going, no.
You know what? You need to get one of those soccer things like they pull out of their getting hold up. And when you
hold it up for the whole audience to see, the host.
You're like, oh, hold on, Jen, to you. CB says he got it from H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, I love H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah. I mean, some of that's weird. Some of his ideas, and it just they're really out there, especially for the time when they came out. But they're still really cool.
Okay, well, I might have to check that out. So,
yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. So,
oh, maybe talking about our guest. They became a ghost.
No, I was talking about H.P. Lovecraft. I was like, that one doesn't ring a bell with me. So, yeah, so. So Jen, you didn't realize you were going to get a whole second hour to work on improvisation. Improv. Is that what you said?
I'm a parent. I improv all the time.
That's true.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm wondering what's going on with me because, when you blurt out threats to your child and you're like, oh gosh, I hope they don't call me on that. Like, if you don't eat your food, I'm going to eat you. Wait, what's wrong with me? Please don't call me on that.
Well,
why did I say that?
Whoa. Well, the famous one, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. So
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yep. And then I gave my son the same curse that was given to me. I hope that one day you have a child just like you.
My mother gave me that curse.
He was like, I hate you for that.
My mother gave me that curse. It's like, I hope you have a child just like you. Well, I had two.
Oh, God. CB says he's glad to hear that he's not the only author besides Stephen King that loves H.P. Lovecraft. Okay.
Do you know when I was the time when I started writing, my mom was doing her English degree, and we used to drive out to my grandparents' house every other weekend. And I had 4 brothers, and I was the oldest. So I think I was about maybe 11, 12 at the time. And I got to sit in the front seat of my mom's Cadillac DeVille. And all my brothers had to squeeze into the back seat. There were 4 of them, still not enough seatbelts. It was the day. And the only reason I got to sit in the front is because I could read my mom's college books. So I would spend an hour and a half reading Lawrence, Bronte's, Conrad, Hardy, lots of Shakespeare. And that was when I started writing. And it really kind of screwed up my writing because I started writing like that.
But that's a fascinating way to learn, though.
It is. There were some words that I didn't understand, and I'd be like, I don't understand this word. And my mom's like, well, spell it out to me because she can't look because she's driving. And I was like, okay, spell, da, 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 da. She's like, oh, that means this. And, I'd be like, oh, that makes more sense than what I thought it was, and then I would remember that. So my vocabulary at age 12 was miles above my peers just because of that.
Wow.
But English wasn't my favorite subject.
I was going to say, did any of that traumatize you? Like,
no, it's
because I mean, some
pretty
people
clean.
made it go the other way. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I thought it was actually really, the grown-up books were a lot more interesting than the kid books. So it was either Nancy Drew or Tess of the Dubervilles. So,
Nancy's always the same. She always solves it. So I preferred Scooby-Doo. So.
Well, hey, Warren, if you haven't read Stephen King's The It wasn't based off of Mary Poppins. It's more of a sci-fi thing.
Oh, there you go. She's going to educate you.
I guess you didn't make it. Did you make it to the end of It? Because they tell you what he is. I don't want to give it away for anybody who hasn't read it, though.
I haven't read that one. No. He's not my favorite author. I mean,
some of his books are good, but I read one recently, and I feel like he, in some spots, is just kind of living off his fame. The stories are still good, but I think his writing's getting lazy in some spots because he's so well known. People are just going to buy his books. And I really hope that doesn't ever happen to me.
Is it a bad thing to have? I mean,
to get lazy in your writing?
Well, I mean,
I guess if your stories are really good, people don't tend to notice that, but maybe I've been stuck in editing mode for so long that I'm just like, okay, this sentence needs a comma. I can't get past that. I have to write a comma in there.
Bruce says he is an ass and blocked her on X.
What did you say to him?
So many questions about that, Brenda.
Oh, no. It did not help kids.
What? He's gotten softer. I'm putting you and Warren in a box. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I was answering, Warren thinks that it was based on Mary Poppins. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it was not based on Mary Poppins. Balloons. Mary Poppins had an umbrella, though, didn't she?
Yes.
And she helped kids. She didn't kill kids.
Wait a minute. Aren't they saying now that Peter Pan was the bad guy? Captain Hook was the good guy? I read that.
Oh, I heard that somewhere. Yeah.
I think somebody's been reading too much stuff.
Ripped the idea and then turned it on its head.
Yeah.
I don't think I was told there's no original ideas out there for tropes anymore.
I can see that. And that also hits on something that Christian said. Gosh, I wish I'd known that our second guest wasn't showing up. I just kept Christian.
Send him an email. Tell him to come back.
He said that I have to go through his agent. You know how that works. He said something that put me in the mind of what a musician told me once on the show. Everybody has a hit song in them. Mm-hmm. If they get the right lyrics, they get the right person with the right tunes, and everybody has a hit song because there's nothing new. And that just kind of really stuck because there's so many one-hit wonders. I was like, that's kind of true. It's kind of true. So Warren has to bring him back. Well, I can shoot an email. Because I can edit this to go as long as we want. I mean, let's see here.
Unless they're all getting bored of us.
Yeah, maybe that's the case.
I could start beguiling them with adventures in parenting.
Let's see here. So you have to go through. Well, I can email both his agent and him. So that's what I'll do. Maybe if I can figure out how to do this, we can do this. But he was in New York, so it's not late where he is. So
It's not?
no, it's the same time as here. It's just what, 10:20. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
I didn't realize it was the same time. It was I thought there was a different time zone.
no. Now you get over towards Nashville, and it turns into Central. So, but they're supposed to be redoing all that, I hear. So
Oh, I'll just be glad when they don't do this daylight savings time. I saw a meme one time. It's like, so you spring ahead and then you fall back. And then somebody did the thing where it was a meme on Facebook saying, "Oh, we fall back an hour. You get an extra of nothing. You get nothing. You're a parent."
yep. Let's see here. I'm trying. If in case anybody's wondering, I'm trying to figure it out on the fly.
I'm reading CB's last comment here. Regardless of whether we write in the same genre or not, it's not competition. We all write our different ways. We all focusing on something different. So some people it's world building, some people it's description, some people it's characters.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm writing about I guess it would be kind of like a sci-fi thriller out of Washington, D.C. It's gonna be paranormal. So that's but
I'd expect nothing less.
Well, my problem I've run into is that I've got so many characters because around the president, there's like a ton of people. And I have to build them as I'm introducing them. You can't just say Bob called and says launch the bombs. So
yeah, like who's Bob? yeah, you got
exactly.
there's so many different ways of introducing characters, and it's kind of like a creative challenge to kind of come up with a new way. It's like, I'm not just going to introduce them. How do I do this? They got to speak maybe, what do I call them until I know their name? Or how many ways can you have a character tell them your name?
Yeah. When I'm saying like they're sitting in a room and General Schwarzkopf looks at the president and says, "Mr. President, it's time to push a button." I don't want that to be his first scene. I want them to go, Schwarzkopf, he's built like a football player. I don't know. I'm spitballing as it go. Typical Marine look, that built like a football player, gruff top, comes from a whatever. So
so you need some description. Maybe you need to implant him into a chapter before that so that we can get to meet him and see where his role is, see what kind of person he is, so that we can kind of build a connection. So we kind of feel for this person who's all of a sudden in your story.
So instead of chapter 1 being going right into the event that sets the whole book, maybe I should make like chapter 1 the staff. Because I mean, God, they got like 20 people around them at all times. So
yeah,
I couldn't pick something simple, could I? So
I think it was Margaret Lawrence who said that sometimes if you're struggling with the point of view or a chapter, and you're like, this is a good chapter, but I don't know, to start my book with it, then it's the wrong chapter to start your book with, and you just haven't. You need to figure out who needs to be in that chapter, and when does it need to take place. Like, things have to lead up to the action. You can't just start with the action. I mean, some people do, and I've done it before too, but it's hard to do. Yeah.
Brenda, if you want to come on, I'll send you the link. I ain't afraid. So, maybe I should be afraid. I haven't seen Brenda online in a while. Where's Brenda? I've messaged her lately.
What's Durban Fantasy?
I don't know what Durban Fantasy is. So, I have written basically a Wikipedia of my characters. And so that if I go back and I can go, all right, General Schwarzkopf, he's a short, stocky football player looking dude, so, and he comes from Mobile, Alabama, or you know what I'm saying? So I've probably written more about them than I have the actual book, if that makes sense. So
No, that makes sense. I have my characters living rent free in my head, so I write them down after the fact. After, like, I'm in the 5th book and I'm just starting to write down things about my characters.
Brenda's not
Oh
dressed.
gosh.
Oh yeah. Well, we could just turn this into a open hour of just come on in. So he says, no, don't send her the link. Warren may fight you for that, CB. So, wait a minute.
It'll be
Speak of
spicy
the devil.
podcast.
Speak of the devil, and the devil appears. Brenda, how the hell are you? We can't hear, so that's good. She's mute.
We can't see either, so that's good too.
That's very good. That's very, very good. Brenda, we've got your little icon thingy, but we can't see you, so I don't know what's wrong with you. Oh, we can hear you now. Yes. So
Well, I gotta adjust my damn mic anytime I come anywhere because I don't know what the problem is.
How the hell again, Brenda?
I like that the little poop emoji is right over the center of her screen.
That's my poop emoji.
I love it. It's cute.
That's cinnamon.
And you know what? For the longest time, I thought it was yogurt. That was like soft ice cream for the longest time.
Oh my God.
Jen, what? Oh my God.
I didn't understand
Girl.
it. I didn't understand that it was a poop emoji. And then I think my son explained it to me. He's like, Mom, that's poop. I'm like, now I see it.
We got to get you away from Glenn. He's going to corrupt your little soulness. You're too pure.
Do not Google 2 girls in a cup.
Oh God.
No. That one I know. Don't Google. My brother told me about that one. And
oh my God.
It was, he tricked me.
Glenn, you're a horrible.
I have nightmares.
I didn't do it.
You have nightmares?
I have nightmares. I'm like, why? What? No.
CB said release the chickens. What are the chickens?
Well, he's probably talking about the fact that on my Facebook thing, I was commented that how difficult it is to get into one of these secret societies. I have been trying so hard for the past couple weeks to get into 2 of them.
Why?
And
you don't want to do that?
Yeah, I do. I want in. I want into
well,
secret.
You have to sacrifice somebody.
Well, Brenda, it's been nice knowing you.
No. Somebody in your family. It's got to be your family.
Is there? Oh.
Or you have to turn your grandson into a girl. One of the two.
I got a list.
You either have to. You have a list. You son of a bitch.
What kind of organizations are you trying to get into?
I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I just want to hang out with a bunch of guys and smoke cigars and learn a secret handshake.
Oh, well, you can go to a cigar shop and learn that.
Just start your own organization and make up the rules for admittance.
And that's what I said. I was going to start the Royal Order of, I forget what I called it, Sport Cats or Sport Kitten or something. So.
Oh my God.
And then like you enter.
Yes, Warren. I love dragons. I want to own a dragon, and I'm going to send it over to burn Glenn's abs.
So you like the hierarchy. You start as a kitten, you end up as a kitty, and then you're a cat.
And then somebody takes your nuts, and you're not a man anymore.
Well, I've been married for a very long time. So.
Have you been fixed?
No. I don't know what the hell CB's talking about. So.
Something about 10-foot tall chickens?
10-foot tall chickens? Oh, I know about 10-foot tall chickens.
Big bird?
Yeah, it's a bird. No, it's a New Zealand bird.
Yeah,
yeah, that
was on our news show. Yeah,
isn't that the one they lost a war against twice? Was that emus?
Yeah, they lost a war against a 10-foot chicken.
I didn't know they were at war with emus.
Okay, New Zealand needs to stay by itself if it loses a war to a damn 10-foot chicken.
It was Australia. Please stop talking about it. We're gonna lose listeners.
Sorry, New Zealand. You know I love you. They would have had food for years, man.
No, well, I heard they're beasts. I wouldn't want to mess with them.
I'm telling you, and this is a nightmare of mine. Is that kangaroo? Kangaroo.
Oh my
that
God.
he comes to the back door. Oh my God, it's so scary.
Yeah.
The kangaroo.
He's scared of them.
This thing is terrifying. I'll look for it. Well, you two carry on. So
I love it.
That hour for anybody that's interested. Just tune on in. So
anytime somebody finds a video of a kangaroo bowing up and trying to kick somebody's ass, send it to Glenn.
Ooh.
Send it to him. It's
scared the living hell out of me.
It is funny. He's scared of those things.
I don't blame you. They're like deer. They'll slice you open with their talons.
Yeah, this thing's very scary.
Well,
very
not the deer have talons. They've got razor sharp hooves. You get the idea. They're on their feet.
The females run away. The males now they've got racks on top of their head that they'll mess you up with. Yeah, but a moose now don't mess with a moose.
No.
I've seen a moose tear apart an 18-wheeler. Okay.
This terrifies me. This video.
What?
So hold on.
We're gonna see a video.
Yeah. No.
Not if you kick them first. I think they can kick harder than us.
Get it?
Yeah.
Send us flying.
Listen.
Oh my.
Hello, let me in. I'm hungry. Let me in.
Nope.
I want to know what gym he trains
Make me a sandwich, bitch.
Yep, that's what would happen right there. Right? Yeah, come to my back door. I got something for you. I'm gonna have nightmares over that now. Thanks,
oh
Brenda.
my goodness. Yeah, I seriously would love to know who is his trainer. I don't think the boy kangaroos have pouches. Do they?
No. And if they do, I'm pretty sure it's because it holds their junk and that comes out and beats your ass too.
Should take a horrible turn.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's like that you don't want to meet in a dark alley. I don't know. I'd rather meet somebody with knives.
Well, that was during the day. You don't obviously didn't even stop it.
I we'll get. I've seen and heard stories in BC about they'll have bears come right up to their doors and that glass will not hold.
Nah, they kick indoors too.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking. That glass didn't look very strong when he's putting his hand on it.
He looked like he was miming.
Yeah, he's like, feed me. No, I got something for you right
here. Oh my God, Warren, come up here and tell us all about the kangaroo. I miss Warren. I do. I miss Warren.
Warren, like I said, was one of the original Misfits. He's been sick, so we're glad to see him back to normal. So,
well, none of us were actually normal. We were all sick in the head when we were doing Misfits. So, I mean, come on, Warren.
It's true.
It's all right. I still haven't recovered. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Note to self: go check out Misfits.
I got a TikTok where I lost my living shit on Brenda and she didn't even realize I was doing it. I'm over here having a meltdown. I'm literally having a meltdown. I'm pushing buttons, I'm screaming, and she's just and everybody else was dying of laughter and she had no idea.
I was never normal. Yeah. I don't think any of us are truly normal. When we get to a certain stage of life, it's just sort of survival with the best you got.
That's the only reason why Glenn and I are still friends, because neither one of us has ever been normal. Ever.
I don't really like her, so I mean that kind of works out.
Yeah, we kind of don't like each other. But it's okay. Well, he throws me
Hey, at least
away.
you're
I've been
consistent.
thrown away.
At least you're consistent.
Yeah.
So
He just throws me away. I'm nothing
see, I
but
just had a
trash.
sudden nightmare. I've got like my wife meeting my girlfriend right now on this screen. So daytime
Wait,
girlfriend.
which one am I?
You would be the girlfriend in this relationship.
Yeah.
Brenda's the bitch.
I am.
Oh,
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. Speaking
I
of
love her.
which. So how you been, Glenn?
Well, if I could ever get the hell out of Tennessee, so.
Well, I told you
Is it
how
like-
to do that, but you don't listen. You don't listen to your wife. Maybe your girlfriend will tell you. Load your shit up in the car, turn on the key and
Get
the
into the-
ignition,
yeah.
and you hit the gas
Drive.
and go. There you go. What the hell? How hard is this?
I can't even repeat that.
Do I got to come down there and do it for you? Left-footed.
I'm too far away to get to him, so
Well, she'd have to go through customs. So at least it would know she didn't have any weapons. Brenda, on the other hand,
Yeah, Brenda, on the other hand.
oh,
I'm loaded with them. I can't make it through customs. Everything on me goes beep, beep, beep.
So yeah. So no, I'm going home Saturday. So I'm going home Saturday. So
so we're gonna check in on Sunday and find out that you haven't gone home yet.
Probably. That
Well,
sounds
Brenda
about
can-
right.
Brenda tracks me, so I got.
Yeah,
she's,
I track him.
She's
I
on
know
my
everything he's doing.
map and Life alert. And,
I even know when he's going to the bathroom. I mean, it
Oh my goodness!
lights up. Beep, beep, beep. Gun's taking a
How do you
shit.
know
Oh, God, you better wipe twice. Yeah.
hell do you know that?
That 360 app is really specific.
Yeah, I've got the upgrade.
I need to put a piece of tape over the lens tonight.
I still think Glenn and I need to go to Australia, but I'm not even
Oh, I
willing to
would
give up
love
my
to.
guns for a vacation.
Yeah,
Well,
see,
I tell
we're not
everybody,
allowed to here.
if-
So
if we get popular enough, we will go over there. If you will have to pay for airfare for Jen, Brenda, and me.
Somebody's
to
got to knock
fly
my
there
ass out
and
because 16 hours on a plane when I'm claustrophobic and afraid of heights does not work.
Daniels. So
you didn't say
Yeah.
that.
we will do live shows. So I will get Brenda liquored up on stage. We'll have to put
Oh,
a little
that'd be
rail up so that she
Oh, you
doesn't
don't want to
run
do
off,
that.
run
I'll go
off
out.
the stage in a wheelchair. So
I will go out and I will come back with a whole line of kangaroos hopping behind me while I got, food hanging out. Follow the chair, guys. Follow the chair. Take them right to
You're
me,
just
Glenn.
sprinkling breadcrumbs behind you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
whole line of them.
Yeah.
not even Warren. I'm not even.
Oh man, we should take
Oh.
Warren with us. That'll
I'm
be fun.
assuming that was a medical procedure. I hope. So-
What?
Why
Oh my god.
are
So
my
you
views
guys-
going up right now?
So you-
You guys are gonna totally corrupt me.
Plug
My
your
goal.
ears, Jen. You don't want to hear this.
That's my goal. You're gonna
So
go tell
apparently-
Henry some of this stuff and go, Henry, I want to try something.
Oh God. I don't own handcuffs, a rope, and a whip for nothing. Don't choke, Jen. Don't spit that out.
I apparently, like CB says, we need to go and revive his girlfriend. She died of
What?
laughter.
Why? What do we? Oh, I was gonna say why. What do we got to teach her?
Yeah, I
She
didn't
died
do
of
it.
laughter.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me. You can't prove anything. So
I've got pictures.
there's-
Oh God. So my allergy has been kicking my butt again. So now I'm on a sixth allergy medication.
Oh,
I can't.
I thought it was bad up here. This is like the allergy, asthma, migraine capital of Canada, where I live.
No, I'm just allergic to Texas, but I love it here.
This year's been worse.
I don't think it loves you back.
It sure does. It loves to make my nose runny and my head hurt and my nose bleed, and it loves me to death. I'm probably really allergic to my dog who sleeps on my face, but I will not ever admit that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look at. I have a little bitty dog, Jen. He's small, and
I've seen him. He's tiny.
sleeps on my shoulder. But every now and then, that little bastard, I'll be sleeping, I'll feel something tickle in my ear, and I'll reach up to scratch it. He has rolled over on his side and will stick his little pecker in my ear. What the hell? That is not what that place is for. Oh, he kills me.
See, I have a female dog, so she doesn't sleep on the bed because she's like 68 pounds.
I used to have 2 Great Danes, and let me tell you something. I had a queen size bed, and they both slept in the bed with me. I would wake up in the morning, my arm would be over one, my legs would be draped over the other, and we were all just sitting there snoring to death. My dog's always sleeping
2 times larger, so
yeah.
And you know what? I've seen where the big dog, because I've had multiple dogs throughout my life, but you'll have the big dog like curled up in the little chair, and then you'll have the teeny tiny dog stretched out as far as he can on the couch and taking up 3 spots. They're good at stretching out like that and taking up all the room.
Mine sleeps over my shoulder with his butt on the pillow half the time. And then he'll scoot down. He puts his head like directly on my heart because he always lays on my left side. And I don't know if he's just listening to my heart to see if the damn thing stops, because I've got the cat sitting in the corner waiting for me to die so she could be the first one to start eating me.
Oh,
because she's mean. She's vicious.
And they will eat.
Hey, she jumps on me when we're live and I'm still alive. She's jumped on me on the show with Glenn, man, and attacked the shit out of me. I had blood everywhere.
Oh my goodness, I missed that show.
No. Yep.
I had one experience. I woke up. I woke up from a nightmare. You wake up, you're like, like this, and your heart's pounding and stuff. And what it was that woke me was something touched my foot. And I looked down, and here's my son fast crawling up the bed, and then just bounces on me. And he's like, I had a bad dream, Mama. Yeah, me too.
You just gave me one.
But we're awake now.
What movie was that where that would have reminded me of The Grudge? Man, I would have been kicking that kid across the room. I would have been. Yeah, I had a nightmare too.
Yeah. But I woke up. I woke up with my kids laying across my neck, across my face. I woke up because I couldn't breathe, and my kids are trying to kill me in my sleep. But the one night I woke up and I'm sleeping facing the inside of the bed, and my son crawls into the part on the edge of the bed behind me because he doesn't want to get sent back to his room. I didn't know he was there. He's about 3.5, maybe almost 4. And I rolled over, and it would have been fine. Him just fall out of the bed. Thunk. There we go. He's fine. No, he has to smack his face on the dresser on the way down and cut open a gash on his forehead and then sit there like, thunk, what? Psh, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. I picked him up and I snuggled him, and my husband's like, what happened? I said, I knocked him out of bed and he hit his face on the dresser. He's like, well, that's a heck of a way to wake up. No kidding.
See, my dogs have always been allowed in my bed, but kids, no. Get the hell out of here. You guys make noise.
Yeah.
No
they
children.
do. They grind their teeth. Oh my goodness. I can hear them from the other room grinding their teeth. And apparently that's a kid thing. They grow out of it. But
not all kids. Not all kids do that.
You're sitting there going, grind. It sounds like
mine was born cutting teeth. She was already cutting teeth when she was born. She already had facial features. She didn't look like a regular baby when she was born. She had real long hair. She was already cutting teeth. They think that I was farther along than what they said. Because, when I had her.
Like a year?
Yeah, I know. Tell me. I had her, and the first thing they do is, you're going to breastfeed your baby. And I tried, and I looked down, and there's blood, and I said, because I was telling the nurse she was hurting me. And the nurse is like, oh, you'll get used to it. And I was like, no. So the nurse comes over, sticks her finger in her mouth, and she bit the nurse. And she's like, oh, my God. I'm like, yeah. Demon child right off the bat. No. Yeah. So that was over.
I'm supposed to know these things.
I used to go through bottle nipples every week because she would chew them.
That's funny.
I had my younger one would chew on his bottles as well. I didn't know he was teething though until he bit, and then I was like, okay, he's teething, he's done.
Yeah, mine was not even 3 months old, and I had her sitting because she sat up at a month old on her own, and I had her sitting in a in a high chair, and I was feeding her baby food at 3 months old. But then when I went to the doctor, they're like, okay, you're still giving her formula, right? Oh yeah, sure. No, my baby was on water and apple juice and formula and baby food. No.
Yeah, I know the doctors are, and they're don't feed them solids until they're 6 months old. I'm like, they're stealing food at 4 months old.
Yeah.
They put it in their mouth. I'm not going to go digging.
Yeah. I wouldn't stick my finger in a kid's mouth. They bite.
Even if they don't have teeth, they bite hard.
That's right. Glenn, you should have had 6 more. Your wife would have really hated you.
Yeah, no, she already does.
No, 2 is enough for me. I've got a crier and I've got a screamer, and I'm not sure which one's better. But I love them to death. I wouldn't trade them for the world because, as hard as the day is, you're racing around, you're getting called all sorts of names, screaming, hollering, chaos, and then they come up and give you a big hug, like, I love you, Mom, and then you forget all of it. 9 and 11 now.
Oh God, they should have had jobs a long time ago. Tell me,
chores.
Tell them to get out and get a job.
Damn, Brenda had a rough life.
Yeah, go get a
They
job.
have rules against child labor, child labor laws at that age, but they do have chores because they live in our house, so they have to clean up after themselves.
First time my kid said, Mom, I want McDonald's. Good, you're gonna pay for it? Go get a job.
It's amazing. You take them out to the mall and they're like, oh, Mom, I really want that. I'm like, okay, did you bring your wallet? Oh, yeah, it's okay. I don't want that.
Yeah. Did you bring your wallet? Oh God. Glenn.
Yes.
I miss
I'm
you,
just letting this play out. So what?
I don't know how we got on the topic of parenthood. You get 2 women together who've been parents and you start talking about kids.
I'm still trying to pick the nipples, but that's another story. So
Oh my God.
Well, it's the last 10 minutes. Do you want to ask a question? We should tell a paranormal story.
Well, Jen, do you have any new paranormal stories?
Not new ones, but I do have some old ones. I had our house here, we had to get saged because there were things that were happening that were frightening, to say the least. And my son was seeing he kept telling me that there was a shadow man in his room when he was 4 or 5. So we got this room saged. This is fine. I went into his room a couple times there when he'd be screaming, wake up in the middle of the night screaming, and I would just see the shadow go across. 2 girlfriends and a wife. But I know there was one time we had a helium balloon because we had a balloon that we got from like a birthday party or something. And it was in our bonus room. And then there's our bonus room and we walk down the hall and then there's our master bedroom. And I walked out of the bonus room down the hall into our bedroom. And I stopped there and I was thinking, what did I come in this room for? Because you always think that as soon as you walk through the door. And then I turned and I looked and I saw that balloon in the bonus room come down, clear the door frame, walk, creep all the way down the hall, kind of weave around the lights, come to the door of my bedroom, go down and clear the door frame, come over and stop right in front of me.
Whoa.
You went in there for the balloon.
The balloon came in to see me. I was like, yeah, that's not disconcerting at all.
No kidding.
I have a doll that
Yeah.
has an attachment. She used to
Yeah.
tickle my caregiver's feet all the time if he walked around with nothing on his feet. Used to piss him off. I liked her. She would hide things and move things and, not bother me.
Trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swore the other day I had a trickster here. I swore I did.
That's your cousin,
It was Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Could have been.
An invisible Pennywise, The balloon was the wrong color. I think it was like neon green.
Now, if I see floating umbrellas in my house, I'm going to be pissed off. That's bad luck.
Yeah, I had to chew my kids out. They're opening up the umbrellas, and then they're having like sword umbrella shield fights. And I'm like, you know how much bad luck that is to open up an umbrella? One. Yeah, apparently. And if you open it up inside, I don't know if that's like a Canadian thing or whatever, but
I still haven't figured out, because they say it's bad luck. I haven't figured out what it does. What bad luck does it do?
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe we should.
You can poke somebody's eye out.
Does
or
it rain in the
break
house?
Something. No.
Does it rain in your house?
I know.
Or does lightning strike inside? I mean, what's
don't
bad
know.
luck?
Well, the only thing.
Give me my
new
umbrella.
for
I'm going to have
me,
to find out.
My cousin over at his house, he has security cameras, and he put me on them so that I could like see in case somebody showed up while he was at work, because he works on the other side of town. And he's got one that faces totally out into the orchard. There's no road nearby. It's the ridge up here, the orchard over here, and woods all around it. And it went off one night. Turned it on. It was like the middle of the night, because I'm a night owl. He has to be up and at work at like 5 a.m. So he isn't. And so I'm looking on the camera and I don't see anything. And I go back and play the events. So I turn the audio up and I hear these birds just raising hell. I'm like, what the hell is that? What bird is chirping at, 4 a.m. or 3 a.m? It was late. And then I hear, like, oh, I know what that is. And then I hear it yell. And I'm like, I know exactly what that is. And I wish I could have had a Class A recording of it. I wish I had thought to hit record. I mean, it was beautiful because the birds would just shut up.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah,
Chris is back. Chris,
tornadoes
are you okay?
gone.
Yeah, we were worried about you, Chris. We actually mentioned that at the top of the hour. So we were hoping you were okay. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're safe. So Jen, for hour 2, I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to can it. I'm going to keep this. No, I have not seen any aliens lately.
Would you recognize them though if you saw them? Like, they can.
They
look like
do
us.
manipulate you. They do manipulate you so that you don't know. We'll just leave that story for another time.
I know.
Jen, hour 2. I'm not going to can this. I'm going to keep it out there.
Yeah.
So WRFN, WZQR. You got an hour of get to know Sportcat, Jen, and Brenda.
Hey, shut the hell up.
So tell everybody where they can find your books, Jen.
Yeah, so again, check out my website. It's the best place to start at jmshawauthor.com. I have my books that are listed there. You can read about them. There's links to find them online. They're available internationally through Amazon as a print. They're all on Kindle. First couple are on Kobo. The rest will be eventually. Or Barnes & Noble. There's links there for ebooks if you're in the US. There's my Facebook and Instagram on the bottom, so you can follow me and see what else I'm writing. And Goodreads, so you can see what else other people are saying about me.
There you go. Make sure you go check her out. All this will be in the show notes because I've got to edit them around now. Next week, we've got 2 Canadian authors. One is a book coach and the other is a horror author. So looking forward to that. We want to thank Mickey. He's always hooking us up with great guests. So we will get everybody back. Chris said he had one a few miles away from him, damaged 200 buildings. Wow. Yeah. Be very cautious out there. The night's still going on, Chris. Everybody try and stay safe. Put your helmets on. That's my advice. So.
Mine stays on.
Brenda and I will be back Monday. So.
Oh, we will?
We will. Yeah, we will.
Well, I'm glad you decided to tell me.
I give you, you get a week's notice. Shut up, woman. Jesus. Just do what I say.
You know you miss me. Be quiet.
No, not really.
Shut up.
Good Lord. I have a signed up for. Everybody have a great night. Brenda, this one's for you.
Leave my poop alone.
Got headphones like me.
Yeah, you need to put cat ears on the headphones, Glenn. I'm sorry, you do.
No.
Like he'll look like Harley.
Well, I have small ones on mine, but mine are black.
He's got a small one.
I got small ones. I own Glenn.